Good afternoon and welcome. Thank you for joining us on a very special occasion. My name is Ann McCaffrey. I'm the President and CEO at People Inc. And today we are proud to welcome you to the ribbon cutting and opening celebration of Folwell Senior Apartments. This $15 million housing development provides 44 units of affordable and supportive housing to income-eligible residents aged 62 and older. We are incredibly proud to share with you all the first completed phase and restoration of this historic building, the former Women and Children's Hospital of Buffalo. Several years ago, Kaleida Health embarked on a bold vision to build a state-of-the-art children's hospital on Buffalo's medical campus. They were able to successfully build and open Oishei Children's Hospital in 2017, and we congratulate the Kaleida leaders that are here today. Thank you. But the question remained, what would become of the previous hospital building? Today we can answer that question. We are proud to unveil the rebirth of an historic building with deep roots in the past and now great potential for the future. People Inc., in partnership with federal, state, and local government, is proud to open this beautiful housing development in the vibrant Elmwood Village. The housing we have created is life-changing for many of our residents who've been moving in over the last few weeks. You will hear from one of our new residents, Michael Curitan, in a few minutes about what this housing means to him. We are providing an opportunity for our residents to live in the vibrant, walkable, and accessible Elmwood Village. And a special thanks to our neighbors in the Elmwood Village for welcoming our residents so kindly. Thank you. This 4-story apartment complex, converted from the previous maternity building at the hospital, is the first part of the larger Elmwood Crossing project to open for residents. I should note that the name Folwell is in recognition of Dr. Mahlon Bainbridge Folwell, who in the 1880s advocated for separate treatment for women and children. He was able to influence prominent Buffalonians at the time that this should be developed, and thus began the roots of Children's Hospital. Today has been years in the making. These types of housing initiatives are financially complex and require careful thought and planning. To the People Inc. housing team, Concetta Ferguson, Jocelyn Boss, Sarah Alessi, Brian Smith, and our site manager, Tatiana Kolber, thank you for putting your full effort into making this happen today and bringing this to fruition. Well done. And to our People Inc. Board Chair, Joanne Hudecki, thank you for your encouragement and leadership. Today, we celebrate another step in the right direction in expanding access to affordable housing for seniors in the city of Buffalo. It has been well documented that our region is in need of additional affordable housing options, especially for some of our most vulnerable citizens. But today, I stand in the company of those who are not only talking about the need, but actually taking decisive action to implement positive changes in the City of Good Neighbors. This is People Inc.'s 7th affordable housing initiative using low-income housing tax credits. This innovative program has enabled us to create 413 housing units throughout Western New York. With our partners, we've made a substantial financial investment in the city and in the quality of life for residents, who now have an option to live in the center of the city and have access to amenities and services in a historic neighborhood and contribute to the quality of life in the area. I would like to take a brief moment to acknowledge some key officials who are instrumental in supporting this housing development. First, the leaders from the New York State Division of Homes and Community Renewal, especially Commissioner Ruth Ann Visnauskas, Assistant Commissioner Lenny Skrill, and Specialist Dan Peters. Thank you for your continued guidance and support. To Mayor Byron Brown, the City of Buffalo, and your team, thank you for working closely with us on this project and providing critical home funds to get us to the finish line. Thank you. And to Buffalo Council Member David Rivera, thank you for your leadership and support. We are also grateful to Congressman Brian Higgins, County Executive Mark Polenkars, Chairwoman of the County Legislature April Baskin, Assemblymember John Rivera, and Senator Sean Ryan, who have all represented our district and fought for funds for affordable housing and continue to advocate for People, Inc. And now I have the great privilege to say a few words about Western New York's very own Governor Kathy Hochul, the 57th governor of the state of New York. We are incredibly appreciative for her efforts to ensure that New York is keeping pace with the housing needs of our residents. We are fortunate to have a governor who recognizes the need to expand housing opportunities in our region and is a true champion for Western New York and affordable housing. Because of Governor Hochul's comprehensive housing plan for New York, thousands of affordable homes and housing units will be created or preserved across the state, including support services for vulnerable populations. Yesterday, I had the honor to attend an event at the Governor's Executive Mansion with other leaders who work to advance services for those with disabilities. The Governor convened the event to commemorate the signing of the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, 33 years ago. It is so clear that she fights for these policies, not only because it's the right thing to do, but also because it comes from her heart. Thank you, Governor Hochul, for your steadfast commitment to developing housing that is affordable, sustainable, and offers opportunities to improve lives in our communities. And now it is my honor to invite and introduce Governor Kathy Hochul up. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann, for your leadership of People, Inc. I knew you in a previous position, your leadership in Lockport. We really made a difference in the community. So I want to thank you for being a friend for many, many years, but also how you're giving so many people an opportunity to have the dignity of a wonderful home. So thank you and everyone at People, Inc. I want to give you, from the bottom of my heart, I've been to so many groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings for People, Inc., and you really are a state and national leader in terms of just doing what's so important, giving people homes. So thank you. Great to have our mayor here as well. We just were at a press conference speaking about how serious crimes, shootings, and homicides are way down in the city of Buffalo. So this community is even safer. That should give the residents of this wonderful place I call home a sense of ease when they're walking around the streets in places like Elmwood Village and others. So thank you, Mayor, for all you're doing to keep our city safe and investing in projects like this. Also, our Assembly Member Jonathan Rivera has joined us. Thank you for your leadership and representation of this community here locally, but also you're a strong voice in Albany, and I appreciate your friendship and all you do. We have an amazing county executive as well who has been focused on affordability issues since I've known him. He's been very engaged with the state and trying to find more opportunities to give people homes, keep our communities safer and more livable. So County Executive Mark Polenkars, thank you for all you do. Also, our Majority Leader of the City Council, I go way back with David Rivera, back to my early days, first running for office, and great to see you again, David, and thank you for what you do. And we have our resident who we'll be hearing from shortly, but Michael Kirtan, I want to thank you for joining us here today and look forward to your remarks as well. No event in the city of Buffalo related to housing is complete without Lenny Skrillin in presence. Lenny, how many events have we been at together, Lenny? Western New York, assisting. So who's counting? But Ruth Ann Visnauskas is an extraordinary leader of HCR Housing and Community Renewal, and also Lenny is a great ambassador for this program all across the state, and you've really made a difference, Lenny, so grateful to have you as part of our team. Friends from Clyda Health, thank you. Thank you very much for having the vision to give a wonderful home for our children and new moms over in a different venue, but also not turning your back on this neighborhood, which is so important to all of us. This community matters. I have spent many, many years, in this neighborhood, in this community, coming to this hospital with kids who had all kinds of injuries that kids get. And so I've been here many times as a mom as well. So it's great to be back in this venue. But I want to just say, and again, thank you for joining us yesterday at our honoring people with disabilities and giving them the access to the halls of government and places like the executive residence where FDR once lived. And we spoke about how an individual who had polio at age 39 was able to overcome tremendous adversity, become a great governor, and ultimately a president who focused on the needs of people who were wanting for so much. And so it was great to bring people together there to share those wonderful, inspiring stories. And this is where it all began, this building. And Anne gave a wonderful history of the building, the story, the impact it had here. And this is where moms brought new life into the world. But also, and young children, babies, began their very first years. And how beautiful is it that now we can return this place for our senior citizens to live out their years in a place that is warm and welcoming. And this hospital, when it closed down, as I've mentioned, people didn't know what it would be. There was a void in Elmwood Village. Would it be blighted? I mean, so many places a building closes and nothing happens, and it just stands there mocking the community, reminding people of the people that used to work here and people who came here. This was part of the fabric of the community. But this was also a great opportunity for those who seized it. And I'm so grateful of all the partners, the private developers, People, Inc., and others for saying, this community deserves to have life again. And I'm really excited to see that people have already moved in here. I think it's completely full, is that right? Almost full? So you're saving room for the mayor and I? We're old enough to qualify. We're the same age, so I can say that, right? But this is great. And the investment of the state, $12 million in this project, and affordable housing units, starting at under $700 a month. And it's amazing what's considered affordable anymore, but $700 a month and under is going to really make a difference. And some people need supportive services, and that's the whole concept of not just giving people a home and saying, here you are, but identifying people with special needs and assistance. And, there's just a way we can do this right. And that has been my priority as governor, to just find the right path to making people have high quality in their lives, especially in their later years. So this Elmwood Crossing is going to be a great asset to this neighborhood, and making sure that we focus on, in this particular building, the people, the 1 in 5 New Yorkers who are over 65. And that's 3.5 million people. That's extraordinary. That's a lot of people who need help. And we are going to continue to help these individuals, and we're not done yet. But it's not just about building housing for seniors. It's about making sure that we have all kinds of housing across the state of New York. And some people are satisfied with the status quo. We have enough. Why shake things up? If people are dragging their feet. Well, people drag their feet while we're digging in. We are going to be doing so many more housing projects over the next many years because we have not focused on this as a priority, and that's one of the reasons we have an affordability crisis. We're not building the supply to meet the demand, and when you have limited supply, the prices go up, and that's what we've seen from Buffalo to Brooklyn. And as governor of this state, that is something when I ask people, why would anybody leave this state? People are not saying taxes. They're saying they can't afford housing. And we can change that dynamic. It's all about the intentionality, the willingness to break through all the artificial barriers or the naysayers or people who have all these qualifiers before they'll okay projects. That has to end. We have to have breakthroughs where we say, we're putting the people of the state first. They want us to do our jobs. And I look forward to going back to the legislature in January with another approach that's going to try and drive more attention, more energy around building more homes in this state. So that's what my focus is going to be. And I like to keep score on how we're doing. The crime numbers are good, Mayor. Also, how much housing are we building in this city of Buffalo since I've been governor? We've had 11 state-funded affordable and supportive projects, 11 just in the last year and a half. And so I'm really proud of the Westminster Commons and Jefferson Avenue Apartments, and $250 million, Lenny, that you helped drive into this community. So that's the money man right there, creating or preserving over 2,500 homes. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's a great story to be proud of, but I know we can do more. And last week I outlined a number of executive actions because I'm impatient, those who know me. I don't want to wait. The legislature can join me in this as we head into the next session, but I wanted more done. So I'm looking at all the powers I have as the executive of the state to jumpstart production of housing in every community across New York. And I'm also focusing on how I can incentivize communities. So I have gathered up all the discretionary funding that we have, $650 million, and only pro-housing communities will be prioritized in that. That's one way I can leverage the power of state government to drive the policy changes that have not happened up until now that we're going to start getting done. I also want to overcome some of the regulatory burdens that are placed on people who do want to become a developer, take a risk. It's always a risk. You never know if there's going to be a good outcome, whether costs, supply chains, inflation, all these other factors. When we're trying to get people to do something in our interest, we have to make it worth their while and not make it so complicated. So we have too many reasons why new construction is not getting off the ground. And again, I want to break through those obstacles. And I'm calling on all state agencies across every corner of the state. If I see a little plot of state land and it's ours, can I put a house there? Can I build housing there? So we're going to be doing an inventory. Right now it's going on. All abandoned, vacant, reusable properties that can be repurposed for housing. So that's another priority that I'm going to be using as well, another tool I can use as well. So this is building where we are today. The apartments are an example of the possibility when people are willing to think expansively, open-minded, but at the core of it all, if we don't provide housing for our citizens, all ages, all levels, all rents, if we don't give them options, we will lose the opportunity for our state to grow. That's not how we're going to do this. We're going to build, build, and build. And I'm going to continue finding ways to think outside the box, give everybody the dignity of a home, giving them the dignity that's associated with a community that cares about you enough to build that home. And we're going to start changing the trajectory that we're on right now. So I'm excited about this, and I think about the seniors that will be housed here. No matter what age you are, there's still more to give. And I saw this in my own family with my mother for her 70th birthday. Mom, can we throw you a party? No, I had another idea. I thought I should have a home for victims of domestic violence. And she literally purchased a former abandoned funeral home, and we gave it new life and allowed families to come in there and get a new lease, to have support for the children and support in court for the women, and give them job training and give them just a beautiful place to put their head at night. And so I meet so many seniors who still have that energy. They want to make a difference, and they're creative, and they're trying to find ways to use their more plentiful time since retirement to make a difference in their communities. And one of those people you're going to hear from shortly, Michael Kirtan. He told me about his efforts to go from being all state insurance, right? He spent a lot of years working hard, and now he wants to use his creative energies. He's an artist, and he wants to find more ways to share his beautiful work with the rest of the world. So this is what we're talking about, creating a nurturing environment that allows people to really fulfill their true ambitions and to continue making contributions to our community, and people like Michael are doing just that. So he's teaching arts and crafts to seniors. Mayor, you want to take a class with me? But if people don't have a place to live, they can't give back, they can't take care of others, and they can't pass down all their legacy of their own work. And so I'm looking to do this. I'm excited. We're going to keep coming back here over and over and over and over, showing how we're making things happen. And I'm going to continue working with organizations like People Inc. to make a difference in people's lives, because that's why we do what we do every single day. So I want to introduce our mayor, who's a partner in all this, and thank him for his leadership. Sorry about the jokes, but I can do it because we're the same age. Great to see you, Mayor Brown.
So the governor keeps outing her and I as seniors. You know, we both look so young. No one would have known that if the governor didn't say it. It is great to be here at the Folwell Apartments. I want to just recognize People Incorporated and Ann McCaffrey and the great people at that organization for the fine work that they do. The city has partnered with People Incorporated on many affordable housing projects in Buffalo. They have a deep commitment to the people of our community, and everything that they do is first rate. And if you look at the pictures and when you tour the units, you will see that these affordable housing units actually look like luxury units, and that's what we want for all of our residents. Ann McCaffrey described Governor Hochul as a champion for affordable housing, and our governor is exactly that. She just doesn't talk about it, but she has put resources behind it in the state budget, some of the most money in the history of our state for affordable housing. Let's give our governor another round of applause. I want to again recognize my colleagues in government. Council Majority Leader David Rivera, want to thank him for his hard work on behalf of his council district and residents all across the city of Buffalo. Thank him for his recent votes on so many good things in the city of Buffalo. Yeah, you could clap on that. Certainly want to recognize County Executive Mark Polencars, who the governor and I work with on so many different initiatives, and Assemblymember Jonathan Rivera, who certainly supported the governor's call for more resources for affordable housing. I've set a goal as mayor for 40% permanent affordability of housing in the city of Buffalo. And some folks have looked at me and said, Mayor, how do you and the city council think that you're going to be able to do that? It's easy. We have a partner in Governor Kathy Hochul. And with the governor's partnership, the governor's commitment, the governor's tenacity, I know we will reach that goal of 40% permanent affordability of all housing in the city of Buffalo. During my time as mayor, partnering with our state, we've leveraged over $56 million to over $700 million worth of investment in housing in the city of Buffalo. Much of that, all of that, affordable housing. So we're getting it done. We're getting it done because of the strong partnerships that we have. I want to thank all of the other partners who are here on this project, who have done such a great job. Every resident in our city, in our county, in our state deserves to live in quality, affordable housing, quality housing. And it is my honor and privilege to support that goal, that mission, that ambition, and I know that we will reach that in our city and in our state. Now it's my pleasure to introduce one of the residents here at Folwell Apartments, Mr. Michael Curitan. Mr. Curitan, come on up and say a few words. And you never know, since the governor has outed her and I might be one of your neighbors one day here at Folwell.
Thank you. Thank you very much for allowing me to add a few words. And on behalf of all the residents here, we love this place. We love this place. And I've discovered it through an advertisement, and I submitted my paperwork or request for application. And from day one, people think it's been this fantastic. They kept me informed of everything. They sent me materials so that I'd be aware of whatever. Not only were they professional, but they was also, if you ask me, very kind and giving and patient with us. And in terms of my apartment, I'm glad you mentioned quality, because I was going to say that myself. We're talking about affordable housing, but this is really top of the line quality affordable housing. I love my apartment. The prior apartment, I was there for 5 years, and I outgrew it. It was a one-bedroom. And when I discovered this facility, my God, it's still a one-bedroom, but it's so beautiful, and the way the laid out and everything, you know? And so I don't have very much to say other than I want to thank, and I should have started with this, the governor, the mayor, and all of you all who have taken part in creating this facility. And I'm just loving it, and if there's anything I can say, let me know.
This concludes our program. Everyone, please remain seated. We're going to do the ribbon cutting right in front of the room here. Okay. Let me just stretch it out a little. On my mark, 3, 2, 1.